Welcome, welcome, welcome. Why, hello, hello. I am about to get started and I'm super excited because I know I did this right. Okay, one moment. One moment. It's always a test. There is always a test, and it's all good because tests lead to testimonies, and boy, do I have a lot of those. So it is all good, and all good. Once again, just have to go back for 1 second. Stranger things has happened, but it's all good. One moment. Okay, so it's being tested, but it is all good. So welcome once again to special edition number 75 of the Sonya Dungee podcast, sponsored by Always Destined for Greatness LLC. And on this podcast, conversation is always the essence of the soul. So I am your host, Sonya Dungee, and I am bringing the heat to the YouTube, Facebook, and IG streets. I'm super excited, and I'm glad you were able to join tonight's session, part 2. In response to when I'm jobbing, I'm on a limited time frame, and it's all good, and I always find ways around that. But I didn't want to just leave us where we were last night, kind of in that rush mode. So thank you once again for joining. We're going to talk today about purpose, mission, vision, and decision. But first, I want to say to you once again that I appreciate all of you. I've been reading the comments and listening to the voicemails and the text messages, and I'm inspired, and I appreciate you sharing with me the value that you've received. And the fact of the matter is that you were able to take the knowledge learned and apply that in your everyday life. When there's hardships or grief, despair, even if it's not you personally, but somebody that you care about, if they've been in situations and you were able to speak to them and be comforting without saying the norm, I know how you're feeling, or, my sympathies, or, it's like there's a time and a place, and people mean well in what they say, but sometimes it's not that well received because for me, when somebody says, I'm sorry for your loss, I understand what they mean, and I understand it's words of comfort. But for me, it's not a loss. For those of you who don't know, I'll share my story very quickly. I had various parts to it, but the part that I'm going to be speaking about right now in my story is my dad, John Dungee, 5 days short of his 83rd birthday, on January 23rd, 2021, in VA Hospital in Northport, New York, at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He passed on. And my family, who was able to be there, was there, even though it was during COVID. And, the nurse was very nice and didn't seem to care what the doctor said in the end. So we were there to support. We were also on Zoom because we have family all over the world. So they were able to say their goodbyes as well. And after that happened, it put me in a really dark place. I was very isolated. I really didn't care. I just did the same thing every single day, the bare minimal to get me by. I would go to work, walk across the room, my living room, into my shishi room. I would do my 7.5, 8-hour bid. And then I would turn around, go back in my room, shut the door, and really didn't have to come out. I mean, I had a bathroom in my room. And apparently I wasn't eating because I lost a lot of weight quickly. And I basically was living a lie, because anyone and everybody who asked how I was feeling, I said, I'm fine. But when I was saying I'm fine, I was only saying I'm fine because I didn't want anybody to worry, and I didn't want my family, especially my siblings, or my children, to grieve any more than they were already grieving. My son took it very hard. My dad was like a father to him. And my youngest daughter, she wouldn't even drive in my dad's SUV after. She wouldn't even look at it. And eventually we had to get rid of it because she just couldn't. So with all that, I didn't want to add to it. And so I just did my day to day. And I did that from January 23rd, 2021 until December 31st, 2021, which was almost a year. At that time, I decided that something had to change. So when I made the conscious decision that I was going to do better and that that's not what my dad would have wanted for me, it just so happens my now mentor, Mr. Darren Walker, happened to reach out to me. I made sure to book the last appointment that he had on December 31st because I was one with that resolution per se, which I don't believe in any longer. But I just knew that I could not bring another year in feeling the way that I was and acting the way that I was, because it wasn't conducive to my health or my well-being either. So I did that. And in doing that, that was the catalyst for my life to ever change. So we're 3.5 years later now. Is that correct? 2.5 years later, I am standing in front of you, I should say, sitting in front of you right now with the Sonya Dungee podcast, talking to you from episode number 75. So I just wanted to share that with you because I appreciate you, and I so am grateful for the comments. So in talking about the comments, if there's something that you hear that is valuable or relatable, please comment, comment, and share, especially on my social media platforms, so that the people that the podcast was meant for, or when we do the walk-in talks with Sonya, that it was meant for, can be reached as I was reached not that long ago. That's the reason why I do this every day, a walk and talk. And if I'm not walking and talking, I'm talking or I'm popping up. But I vow to make sure that I stay present, because you never know when that person that was just like me, they need help and they're reaching out. And so the only way that this podcast can get to where it needs to be and viewed by the people who need and want to see it, it has to be liked, comment, and shared. So thank you for that. I know that sometimes some of the subject matter that we talk about is not necessarily for you, and that's great because you keep rocking with me anyway. But the fact of the matter is that if it's not for you, you very well might know somebody who it's meant to reach. So please, again, take that into consideration as well. So jumping right in to tonight, we're going to talk about purpose, mission, vision, and decision. And then we're going to bring it full circle in its perspective. And then I have some exciting things to tell you as well. So when we talk about purpose, purpose is how to explain this? It's done with intention, or it's done with an objective around it. Something is purposeful. You do it intentionally. You meant to do it. You did it on purpose. Okay. And mission is what you do and for whom you do it to. And I said for whom because we all know we are God's children. And I'm a faithful servant, and I'm still learning and growing in my faith. And I'm appreciative of that. And I would never intentionally push my faith on anyone. But I just wanted to say that I am not apologetic about that in any way, because God has directed my path to where I am today, and I am beyond grateful for that and humble. So with that comes vision, and that's the ability to think or plan for the future. And then decision is when you act, something that was a dream or an imagination, when you actually act on it and take what's in your mind and you make that decision, and then you push forward with that decision. So I have been talking about so many different things, and I've been breaking down every single piece of basically psychology and formula. And we spoke about blueprints, and I actually had a masterclass, the last two masterclasses, the last one being last Saturday. We talked about a life blueprint. So I just want to make sure that I clarify it so that you don't get confused, because there's the life blueprint, and then we were able to also apply that in business. And then there is also what we call a mission statement. Okay. And not everybody has a mission statement, or they don't realize, or you didn't realize such a thing existed, or that you did know that existed, but you thought it only had to do with business. So I just want to clarify that as well. So in a meaningful personal mission, not business, but this is our personal life, there's two important elements to that. And the first one is what you wish to do, what you want to accomplish, and contribute. Okay. So it's what you wish to do, what you want to accomplish and contribute. Okay. And then the second piece would be what you aspire to be. Okay. So that's your characteristics, that's your strengths, that's your qualities, that's what you want to obtain. That's qualities that if you don't have them, you aspire to develop them. So those are the two components, those are the two pieces of a mission, personal mission statement. Okay. Whereas the life blueprint is, we actually drew it up as if in business, an architect, which we are all architects in our life blueprints, but an architect, when it comes to business, they draw up the blueprint. And like if you're you're in construction and you're going to build a building, and you have to have the widths and the measurements and the depth and all these pieces, components to it. Same thing in building a house. And so that's what we mean by life blueprint. We actually are going to build it, starting with our goals and whatnot. So we've talked a lot about that. So I just wanted to be able to explain what drives the vision, or what drives purpose. Okay. So when you're, one moment. Okay, just checking, because all of a sudden I didn't see anybody. So what drives the vision and the purpose is that you're going to talk about the future possibilities in the positive. I am, I will, I aspire to be, all positive. Okay. And then creating your pillars. I threw in pillars, okay, because it said milestones and goals, but pillars is very relevant, and it is also very important in being able to fully create what you really want to aspire to do, what your personal mission statement is. It should have your pillars in there as well. And you have to remain committed. You have to be able to commit to the vision that you want, that you saw for yourself. Okay, so those are the three important pieces to that. So if you are being tested once again, one moment, don't know if you can see this, it's all good. A lot of things like to pop up in my screen, but it's okay because we're just gonna get rid of it and keep it moving. So what are pillars? If you ask, they can be best explained as the fundamental areas or aspects of one's life, of which each plays a critical role in your self-development. So I'm going to share what mine are. Sometimes I change them around a little bit. The top four is always going to be the top four, but sometimes the fifth and the sixth pulls me a little bit. But God is my number one pillar. Again, I'm not pushing faith on anyone. I'm just sharing with you so that you can get a clear understanding of what I am speaking about when I say the 6 pillars. Okay. Health is next. Then I call it family and friends, because keeping it 100, I have friends that are family to me. And of course, then I have my biological family as well. So when I have a function or something, or even when it came to my mom's funeral last June, or when my mama passed, that was the first time that I could clearly see it. My friends were there. Friends I didn't even know. I mean, I just met them at the time, literally just met them, and they showed up. And it was the most horrible, the rainiest of days. And they were there. And that's something that I will never forget. And they are my family as well. Okay. They're part of that community that we always talk about. So that's why I have it set up that way. It's part of my 6 pillars. And then there's service. And then I have business and I have wealth. Okay, so those are my 6 pillars. So if you don't know what your 6 pillars are, if you never thought about your 6 pillars, that should just help you with an example. But you really should consider adding your 6 pillars as part of your mission statement when it comes to your personal mission statement as well. Okay, so I didn't want to put you on the spot by saying we're going to write a personal mission statement tonight. So we're not going to take the time to physically write it, but I explained it, and I suggest that you start clearly thinking about it, writing it down, and then putting it all over. Okay. I meant to grab the actual colorful signs that I have everywhere, but instead I'm going to use these for an example. So I also have index cards, right, that I keep over here, and they're in all different colors, right? So you can create your mission statements. You can put it in your bathroom. You could put it on your dresser. You could put it on your mirror. You could keep it in your car, put it by the TV. If you have a desk, or if you work from home, or put it there, or, take it to work with you if you physically go to work, but always have that. I mean, I have one in my wallet. So always have it there as a reminder as well. Okay. So that if you fall short, it's like, boom, it's right there. Okay. So after writing your mission statement, okay, with purpose, vision, and the decision, then the next thing I would suggest that you do, and we will be doing it, is we are going to do vision boards. Not that long ago, I did not know what a vision board was. It's just within the last couple of years that I really got to understand and know what a vision board is. I mean, when I was little, believe it or not, I made vision boards, and I didn't even know I was making vision boards. I was cutting up things in the magazine, putting it here and there on the poster. It looked really nice. I mean, bam. I mean, I even had a dream house and what I wanted it to look in, the bathroom and the fixtures and the this and that. It was ridiculous. But that, that was a vision board. And a vision board is just that. Okay. It's a big, big scenic view, as I say, of what you want and what you aspire in life. Okay. I mean, just to give example, I more recently, before I really started delving and learning personal development, but I mean, I was like, keeping it 100 as I always do, being 100% transparent. I was getting ridiculous with it. I put up, let's see. Okay. Something's happening. We go and we come back, but it's so good. I had a white Mercedes. I don't know, being tested again. Something's happening, but it's all good. I had my mansion in there, and it was almost like I did when I was younger. But realistically, now thinking back, and not thinking back, but having a clearer understanding, I know what to put in a vision board. So that's what we're going to be doing. So I am going to have another masterclass on August the 20th at 1 p.m. And part of it, let's just thing again because we're going around and around. Okay. So I'm hoping everybody's still there. We keep losing internet for some reason, but we're going to be doing vision boards as part of our masterclass. So if you are interested in that, I would suggest you start gathering your data now, start gathering magazines, start finding things that you desire to have in your vision board. And that way you can have it for the masterclass. So we're going to talk more about it. I'm super excited about it. When I first started my podcast and I first started going down my path that God has led me to, Proverbs 3, 5, 6, as always, I would have never imagined that it would have taken me where I am today, nor would I have imagined that there are so many components to forward progression after suffering some type of hardship or going through grief and despair or challenges in life. And as we said before, there are so many. It's not just losing a loved one. There's many different types. And I also speak about it a lot. I've also done some podcasts, so you're always welcome to go back and review the replays and watch those. So that's what I have for tonight. I thank you for joining me. I'm not one to rush, and so I felt that we needed to do part 2. And this is episode number 75, so that's a celebration in itself. But the celebration is for all of us, especially for you, because if I did not have you, there would be no me. And this platform is very specific in nature, and in what we discuss, the topics that we discuss is all relevant to challenges, hardship, grief, forward progression. And forward progression is another entity in itself. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. And I really thank you so much, especially when I have challenges. We've all been challenged in life. We all have problems, but we turn our problems into projects. And like I said, I've been tested every single day, especially when it comes to getting onto social media. For some reason, somebody is trying to keep me off of social media, because every time I get on there or attempt to get on there, I'm getting pushback. But it's all good, because we all know 2 of the voices. I don't listen to the 4th, nor do I allow that person to control me. I refuse to give that control. So with that being said, thank you so much. And I appreciate your patience when I am in those moments. It's a learning curve also when it comes to technology, but it's all good. I know that you are in that mirror. I know you're talking to the self image. I know that you're doing that every day from sun up to sundown, right? As soon as we wake up, there's a mirror we have to pass by. And I know that you're warding off the negativity. You're not allowing for that to get under your skin, because it's not conducive to our well being. And as I've come to find out, the people that throw us negativity and talk down on us, it's because they themselves have some type of hardship, some type of challenges that they're going through. And instead of properly facing them, they are trying to impose their negativity and trying to impose, um, making everybody else feel bad as they are. So, if nothing else, remember that. Okay, it's no need of even arguing back. Take all that stuff, bottle it up, as I said before, let it fuel you, catapult you into the direction in which you wish to travel. Be safe. God bless you all. Bye for now. Catch you in the morning. Bye-bye.